Hello, can you hear me? I guess so. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you react or type something if you can hear me? Sorry, that YouTube is so fucking boring that it has to censor like turn off my audio. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, cool. Thanks. I wasn't gonna bother saying anything until I found out if the audio was on this time because I tried going live a minute ago and yet YouTube decided to turn the audio off. It's fine. How are you? It's interesting that your name is Gary Vendetta because I was all like pissed, like I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna get revenge. It was ironic because right before I was gonna do the live, I was gonna do a live focusing on this idea I had to take the army, to stop the war, but taking the army. And I think it's a great idea, and I do want to focus on it. But right when I was gonna go live, I thought, you know what? I want to focus on the goddess too because the goddess, the future, peace, love, truth, all this stuff. It's a very important focus. So I was all in that mindset. Starting my live talking, and they're like, "I can't hear you." Oh, trying to stay up late. I used to do that. If you want a good way to stay up late, I recommend green tea. Like make your own green tea if you can in a microwave or with hot water. Put a tea bag of green tea. That helps you stay up. I'm probably gonna go to sleep in a little bit, but I wanted to get this idea about taking the army. I want to get this out there a little bit more. Get some people to um, to hear this idea and think about it. And I want to talk about the goddess and the future, the truth, good stuff, peace, peace in general. But it made me mad that when I started my live last time, the audio didn't work. I did the art. Thanks. So it made me mad, and so I wanted to get revenge, and I'm like, I am just gonna talk about taking the army, because that's what they're the most afraid of at this point. I think is the army quitting, and I think the very best way, the very most effective way to get the army to quit is to go ahead and like sponsor, like hire generals and other soldiers, anybody you can that has quit the army or that Trump has fired from the army. Try to hire the top general, the one he just fired. That would be the ideal situation, even if you can only technically hire him for one day because you can only afford like $1,000 or $10,000 or something. But I think we should do a GoFundMe and do that. So that's been my focus today since I came up with that idea. I guess yesterday I came up with the idea. I put a couple videos out about it, but I figured I'd just put the idea out there in the live stream. Yeah, thanks. Everybody seems to like the art. I should do more art on my live streams. Those aren't even finished. This one's really old. There's some other art laying around. I should get my other art out too. I got stacks and stacks of art. This is all anyone ever sees because this is what's on my wall lately. Okay. Well, thanks, Tavon Morris. Hello, Mr. Turtle Duck. Nice to see you again. Have you heard my new idea yet? It's unique, but those are your eyes. Yeah, it's like a Muppet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take his army away. Mr. Turtle Duck, I don't think you've seen my live since I had this idea. So here's the idea. Yeah, thanks. I'm glad you're here. This is kind of the debut of the idea. I was talking about it in the previous live, but that was, we just started this one to kind of continue the conversation. The idea is to take the army away. So Trump keeps firing generals, right? That's what inspired the idea. Trump fires generals because the generals are willing to promote black people and the generals are willing to promote women. So Trump fires them. And he's firing like our top generals right now. I mean, that's one of the reasons he fires them. You could also say the reason he's firing them is to make the army as compliant and bad as possible so he can destroy our country for Putin. But Trump's firing our top generals. I say we hire those generals and we form an army that we say, a well-regulated militia, what we're constitutionally entitled to form. And then we say, hey, join our army instead of that army. That army's a bunch of traitors serving the Trumpstein class. This army's going to serve Americans. And once we get an American president again, this is the only army that's going to be able to be the army, and everybody who joins it. I think it's a really great idea. I think it'll actually improve and increase the army because I think we'll get a lot of people to quit the army, the Trumpstein army, and join the American army. And I want to call it the American Rescue Force. So far, I mean, if somebody has a better name, let's do that. But I like American Rescue Force. It's sticking with me. The most knowledgeable general currently, Devil Doll says that the one he fired is the most knowledgeable current general we have. That's I think why I got inspired for this idea. We should hire him. He's still a general. He's a retired general or whatever, fired general or something. But he's still the same guy. Like, we should hire him. If we don't hire him, if the American people don't pool our money together and get some billionaires or rich other countries or whoever to kick in the money to hire these guys, somebody else is going to hire them anyway. If we don't do this idea, like Saudi Arabia is going to do this idea through some front person. So why don't we do it and be completely like out in the open and transparent about what we're doing, and keep it from. Mr. Turtleduck says this house is brilliant. You're a genius. Thanks. Yeah, I'm back. You're gonna be the new George Washington. And thanks. That's okay. Unc, are you from North Carolina? No, pretty much though. I'm from Georgia. It's basically the same thing. I'm from Oz, the future. In the future, in the fairyland of Oz, is a representation of the future. In the future, there's no money and there's no war. Those are the characteristics of the future. What are we going to do with all our militaries in the time when there's no war? What do they need to do? Rescue squad. Rescue squad and convert, like, big projects and stuff. Stuff that the military does now sometimes, big projects, rescue squads and stuff. Yeah, I know how copper wire was invented. Girly calendar, but with men. Thanks, James Vaughn. Thanks for your necessary contribution. Listen, guys, it did remind me of my shirt. It did remind me to show off my shirt and ask you guys what my shirt reminds you of. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see my shirt? Just the first thing that comes to mind when you see this image. What mind for you? I'm going to read all your comments after you leave the comments. First thing that comes to mind when you see my shirt. Come on, guys. This is like a magical test. Use your magical powers of typing and type. Use your magical typing powers. Type what comes to mind when you see my shirt. Come on, guys. It's not that hard of a challenge. Okay. Why didn't anybody accept the challenge? Did you say ironic Lego? Hello, Kanye West. Thanks. Welcome back. Indiana Jones Sorry, this cat is like participating a whole lot. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Yeah. I mean, this is Indiana Jones. Yeah, Temple of Doom. It is Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. It's Lego Indiana Jones. But yeah, I was trying to get anybody's reactions to what you saw, what you see when you, what you think when you see the image on my shirt. And I think the very first one is kind of what I was like thinking of myself. Is it ironic Lego? Okay, thanks Typo Fairies. Thank y'all for being here. Yeah, Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom. You think of the 90s. So we got three different responses. We got Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. We got um, ironic Lego. And we got Temple of Doom was also Typo Fairy. It's a Temple of Dome, which is ironic. Like, I'm sorry, but this is magic for a reason, right? The reason I told you it's magic is because it's magic. And so, um, a much simpler time. And I think of the 90s. The other one was the 90s, a simpler time. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Now that's an amazing comment. Legends of the Hidden Temple. I'm sorry, like, here we go. Let me focus. My favorite Indiana movie. Yeah, I like them all so much, but I think it might be my favorite too. Yeah, I think it might be my favorite. It's the one I remember seeing in the theaters the most. Because my mom took us out in the scariest part. We left the theater and then we went back in once that part was over. 2010s were the best. What was so good about the 2010s? Okay. Men Who Stare at Ghosts was your favorite movie? So what we're going to do is we're going to hire the general. Do you happen to know his name, Devil Doll? The general that Trump just fired? The opening song is amazing. I'm sorry, I forgot what we were talking about. Kanye West says it makes me think about the Church of Judas and other people being Indiana Jones trying to find out the secrets, aka the truth about Judas. Yeah, it is kind of like an archaeological mystery. I think people like mystery so much that they would like the Judas mystery or the Judas, side of the story because people like true crime so much. And then it also makes you ask, well, who killed Judas? Was it, the authorities, the Romans? Was it the disciples? But yeah, it makes me think of Indiana Jones in general too. Like, he fights fascism. He's always fighting fascists. Shirley Temple. Makes you think of Shirley Temple. This is Lego Willie Scott on the thing. Was it Maddox? Was who's Maddox? Oh. Sorry, there's a cat here. So what we're going to do is take Trump's army away. We should also be like praying to the goddess and all good spirits, Jesus and all good spirits to help us stop Trump. We've been holding him back so long, at least to some degree. But if we could just stop him and stop having the threat of what he's going to do next or what he's about to do or any of that stuff, how he's going to make everything worse again. Or if he could make, it could be disastrous. Like even Tucker Carlson is talking about, he thinks he's going to use nuclear weapons. Like he's absolutely fucking insane. We cannot have it. Okay? We have to stop it. And the sooner we stop it and can stop worrying about it, the better. If he actually does this, dude, it's completely fucked. I shouldn't even have to try to tell you. My best hope would be that like aliens would turn the nuclear bombs off, or there would be some type of divine intervention, or my best hope would be that the military would just damn coup and say, we're not putting up with this shit anymore. I was running for election in the country. I'm puffing for president. Check out the hashtag puffing for president. Randy George. Okay. Randy George is who Hegseth fired for wanting to promote black military personnel and promote women. I heard it was because he was willing to promote, or he was going to promote, black military and women, is why Hegseth is like, we cannot allow you to do that. If you don't not promote people that they were already going to promote, if you don't refuse to promote them because they're black and women, then you're out. You're not part of Team Trump. You're not part of the Trumpstein class. And I think that's the badge of honor. We should say anybody who gets kicked out of Trump's army is fit for the army. And anybody who doesn't get kicked out or leave isn't fit. We don't want them. So we should go ahead and start hiring everybody he kicks out. I am running. We should start hiring everybody he kicks out and then have a well-regulated militia, you know? I'm thinking about calling it American Rescue Force because we're rescuing America, but also then once they become the army, then it's the American Rescue Force. Like, we go around rescuing people. We don't do, like, bad stuff anymore. So, anyway. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being here. Yeah, you can check out my hashtag puffin for president, but I'm only running for president, like, until Jasmine Crockett or somebody better gets in. I won't get out of the way if Gavin Newsom gets in the race or something. I'll keep running. But if somebody good like Jasmine Crockett gets in, then I'll jump out. I want to run to be head of the EPA, but it's an appointed position. Well, let's put your name in there for, yeah, if I win, maybe I can appoint you. Or if I don't win, Jasmine Crockett wins, maybe we can pass your name on to her for being here from the get-go. Thanks, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I've got a couple of jokes, but this is nothing funny about this. This is about replacing Trump's army by, like, what we do is we hire the generals that he fired. Randy George, I think is his name. Hold on, let's go ahead and pin that comment so we keep it in mind. Randy George is who we want to hire. We want to hire him, and we're gonna hire all the military. Ultimately, all we have to do is say we're gonna crowdfund it, and guess who gets to donate to that? Everybody around the world. Like, we'll get some good, trustworthy people to manage the funds that we know are American or whatever, but we'll take funds from everybody because we're ready to stop Trump. You hear me? Yeah, I'm tall enough, I guess, but I'm not trying to be president. I'm trying to run for president so that Jasmine Crockett gets in the race, and I can, like, have already gotten some people working on stuff. We're just gonna turn and Jasmine Crockett is not white or 6 feet tall, but rules are made to be broken, right? Fun fact: Captain Crunch isn't even in the Navy. Thanks for filling us in. What do I call a blackfish? I don't know. Shit, dude. I don't know. So, sorry about the trolls, guys. You call it a fish. I've heard of, like, a more able to trick you version of that joke, but I forgot what it was. I don't remember jokes very well. Listen, guys. No, somebody asked me about Steve a lot, but I don't know who that is. Yes, we can all talk to our community and make a difference. I really think we should spread this idea of just a GoFundMe army. Like, I just want to come up with good ideas for what to call it, how to promote it, how to get the idea out there to other people with you guys. A GoFundMe army. The army where we're just going to raise some funds to hire the generals that Trump wrongfully fired. Can't we just do that? Can't we just hire them for our army? I mean, a well-regulated militia. So we just had a lot of people in the last live. There was about 2,000. Thanks, Devil Doll. Randy George. Because, like, what's he gonna do? He was just the general, going to work, doing his general things. Now he's not. Is he just gonna retire or something? He probably wants to keep on generaling. Well, let's hire him and make him the general of our army and say we're gonna invite all the rest of the army to join us. Hello. Nobody blocked you. Or did I block one of your other accounts? Well, welcome back. I probably won't keep the live up because it doesn't seem like we're going to get that many good people. Why don't you guys do reactions or something, or emojis in the chat if you're good people, or to make more good people. I don't know. I want to date somebody. Oh, Kanye West is here. Kanye West, how's the new album? Is a pillow revolution a violent revolution? No, it's a pillow revolution. That's the whole point. Pillows. They're soft. We do most of it from bed. Like how much violence you can do in bed. You know? Most of it's for doing from bed. Have you ever been to sex industry? Please tell truth. No, unfortunately not. Kanye, is it true? Somebody had a question for Kanye. But it seems like we're kind of like not really attracting the best people in the chat. So I'll probably shut it down and go to sleep. But I do appreciate you being here and letting me talk about this again. Because I do think it's a good idea just to hire these generals. And I think it's a good idea just to talk about it. Just to say this is what we want to do. Because again, somebody else could do it, and they could do it like secretly and creepily and like, and like with nefarious intentions. And be like, no, all we're trying to do is stop Trump. All we're trying to do is save America, stop Trump. It's gonna be real above board, real obvious, real open about stuff. No, not bad. Love is good. Thanks, Gary Vendetta. I would certainly advise Jasmine Crockett or another good president. I'd be the president. I don't care. I'm not doing anything. I'd be the president if I ended up getting elected. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think what I'm doing is just trying to get people thinking about stuff. Think about automatic citizenship for everyone ICE contacted and compensation. Think about, consequences for the bad guys, sure, but I'm going to focus on some more good stuff first. Appreciate you too, Devil Doll. Repurposing the army, like taking the army. I really think we should do it. I think we should say, look, we can take this army and give everybody a good way out of the army. And just say, look, we want the people on the ships to vote and say whether or not they want to attack or come back. Just say, look, there's no shame or punishment in coming back. In fact, we have another army, a better army for you to join. A well-regulated militia for you to join when you get back. No, I don't need coffee. I was just going to go to sleep. I wasn't going to stay up too much later. Well, a trans army to fight for us. Speaking of which, they've fired all these trans people. Okay, I'm glad you said that, because it's not like there's just people Trump fired because they're not racist, or people Trump fired because they're not sexist in the army. There's those people. There's also people Trump fired because they're personally trans. There's a bunch of people Trump kicked out of the army because they're trans. So that's already like thousands of people we could start hiring. But there's also a bunch of people who left the army because they're sick of Trump. And there's a lot of people who already were in the army and might even have been in longer, but it was some bullshit. And they wouldn't mind coming back, but it was some bullshit. So why would they come back to some bullshit? But they can come to our real legit army instead. Dude, that's millions of people when you think about it. It's a lot more people than are in the damn army now. The Trumpstein army. Yeah, so like blacks, Muslims, the things that people often ask me randomly out of the blue, do you like Muslims? Do you like blacks or something? Do you like Jews? Yeah, like everybody that you guys, for some reason, are like questioning if people like or not. Anyway, I think we've kind of wrapped it up for tonight. We'll just do a half-hour live this time because we're at 28 minutes, almost 29 minutes. Seems like a good place to stop. Well, Devil Doll's here, though. I like Devil Doll. Devil Doll says the military was the largest employer of trans people documented. Yeah, that was the case, but you said was, right? Because they fired a lot of them, and they kicked a lot of them out, right? So those should be some of the first people we hire. We should hire the generals they fired. Anybody they fired, we should really pursue trying to hire. Any military people they fired, we should try to hire. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Rising slowly up the tower, thrones fleeting out of your hand, throwing lightning bolts to open up the sky. The keys you drew out of the sand. Someone's waiting in the classroom. You've got the skill to take him down. Please remember before you level up and take just one more look around. You're the champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. You're a champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. I think you'd better take this with you. It can help you on the way. All these tricks and traps and treasures are here to show you how to play. You're the champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. You're the champion. Happy birthday to your sister of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishments. Champion of accomplishment. We're just forming a well-regulated militia. We're going to hire all the generals and all the soldiers that Trump fired, and we're going to make an army to replace the Trumpstein army. It's pretty much the simplest way to put it. You want to help? Celebrate the end of Trumpism and do our part to do something about it. Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about replacing the military or making a well-regulated militia that can drain all the soldiers away from the military. So there's no Trumpstein military anymore, just our military. It'll be sweet. And then we'll hand it over to next American president gets elected. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Giant catastrophe. But yeah, we'll probably just shut it down. Devil Doll says, you are a beautiful person in my eyes. You are a beautiful person in my eyes too, Devil Doll. I always felt that way. It's just because I liked your name from the very first time you were here. What, a couple months ago? It's just a racist. Thanks again. You're my favorite YouTube streamer, and you're funny. Well, thank you. I'm glad you think I'm funny, too. I like to be funny. I think being funny is very important. I know I'm not being funny right now because I can't think of anything funny to say, but I think being funny is a very important thing to do. It's always good to be funny. It's also good to go to sleep. Whoops. It's also good to go to sleep. So I encourage everyone to go to sleep. Why do you keep calling me Steve? Thanks for saying your heart is pure, Steve. But why do you call me Steve? Is it like Blue's Clues, Steve? Are you calling me Steve because Blue's Clues? I kind of do want to do voice work. I can do a whole lot of different voices. So I think I'd be valuable in voice work. But I don't know anybody in voice work. Although I don't know. I do know this guy that says he had a meeting with Marvel. He hasn't been on the stream much lately. Well, no, he was here. I think he was here recently. I need to ask him how his meeting with Marvel went. Because I feel like... Good night. Have a nice evening. You too. It's just right. I feel like that could be the types of connections you need to just go ahead and make everything happen. Just talk to the people who are already doing it. Already making movies that like the entire world sees and stuff. Go see the Mario Galaxy movie. By the way, it's really good. Mario Galaxy movie is awesome. Alright. I'll probably shut the stream down though and get some sleep. I hope you have get some good sleep too. And sweet dreams. And in the morning, help hire the generals that Trump fired. You can check out my Cash App, $Puffin Doja, and I'll put that money towards hire the generals that Trump fired. I feel like I'm kind of saying this like Miracle on 34th Street, like Santa Claus or somebody else is going to see this and fund the whole thing, and then we'll be like, yeah, we're in business. We did it. The idea came to fruition. But we'll see. The cat is definitely here. I mean, the cat has super much arrived. So we're just going to raise a bunch of money, hire all the generals that Trump fired, make an army. Why is she looking at me like that? Make an army. A well-regulated militia. Which also turned out to be a joke. Gee whiz. It turned out to be a joke. I was watching somebody's video. They were saying how all the, like, Hegseth also shits himself, apparently. So Trump and Hegseth shit themselves, and he's like, why are these people that wear diapers ruining our lives. And I was like, yeah, we're going to fire all the generals that Trump, I mean, we're going to hire all the generals that Trump fired, all the woke generals. We're going to hire all the woke generals that Trump fired and make a well regulated militia. Like, well regulated? Like, they're not shitting themselves? Yeah, I'm the weirdo. This guy said, no, I'm not going to read his comment. There's no reason to dignify the trolls, honestly. They better say better comments if they're going to want to actually be participating in the live. You have to have better comments. Okay, and on top of that, I should probably go to sleep. Yeah, excuse me. Sweet dreams, everybody. We'll finish rehiring the army that got fired tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Double L says woke generals understand the world, troll. The person, all they said was the woke generals, but you guessed that they were like a douchebag. Because they might not have been. We already have militias. Yeah, you can have more militias. What an idiot. No, he said hit those likes before. What do you mean by saying we already have militias? Yeah, so you can have more militias. I don't know, this guy might be good. I'm trying to determine from looking through his past comments. Huh. But he also says a weird word for Democrats. And he might just be kind of like leftist. Let's take a look. The NRA is not against Trump, but they should be. Trump's killing gun owners for owning guns and blaming them for it. Call them domestic terrorists. Huh. It's interesting. Thanks for coming back, Lawrence. It's interesting that you're still here. Nice to see you again, WebDev. I've got this new idea. We're going to do a GoFundMe and hire all the generals and all the servicemen and servicewomen and service trans people, service gender fluid people. We're going to hire them all for a well-regulated militia, as is our constitutional right. Don't you think that's a great idea? Fuck Donald Trump. I was just about to make that new pinned comment. But Randy George is who Hegseth fired. So that's kind of who we're talking about here. I think I will replace the pinned messages for now because I'm going to shut down the live pretty soon. I'm getting pretty sleepy. But thank you, Lawrence Taylor. And they would kick ass. Exactly. That's the thing is, it's not like we're only going to have current military people allowed in this new military. It could be former military people. It could be people that would have joined the military but didn't want to because they thought it was a bunch of bullshit. But they'll join this military. I think it'll be really cool. And especially when the whole purpose is to not end up doing more wars, but to actually take care of that shit so we don't do war anymore. But we do, a bunch of like rescue missions and stuff. Big like power plant projects and irrigation systems and dams and stuff. Or whatever. Like, stuff that fixes problems. Alright, I'm gonna go to sleep, but I hope you guys have sweet dreams and a good night and love you. And see you next time. Thanks for being here. And let's all have good luck and pray to the goddess for peace and truth to come out and everything to be good tomorrow. Thanks. Sweet dreams.